3. So, I loaded this up in MAME. Did not get to run it off of an original PCB, I'm sorry. I inserted my coins. I hit start, hit all mines for a free game. And I now have my... And first I thought it was a pickaxe. I was like, okay. That was my first thought. It took me a second to orientate and figure out, okay, what exactly am I doing? And then I shot, and I was like, okay. I get it. It's kind of like an action-y version of Minesweeper. Cool. Chain reactions. I think I've got this.
Yeah.
Now, what you don't see here is controlling this thing is a bitch. Okay? Because it only moves one block at a time, and I'm not quite sure how it's calculating the timing between motion and movement and when to stop. So every time you see me sort of going... I'm trying to hesitantly move forward, and I'm using an Xbox controller, and I'm using the analog stick. And it was just, I mean, I kind of dig the concept here, especially with the time limits and stuff. It makes sense, especially, this was what, 78 or 79?
78.
78. It makes sense that would be sort of the goal of the game. But yeah, and there I died. I blew it up, and I was in there.
Of course, there's no lives in this game, so you can keep trying as long as the time's there.
Exactly.
In fact, that could be strategic. You could kill yourself on that side of the level and be transported back to the origin point.
Yeah, but I mean, the chances are you probably already destroyed everything at the origin point, or at least on that side.
Unless you're doing it strategically, Karl.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that much time to think about the strategy when the screen comes on, and you see here, I'm trying to be very precise with it, and then suddenly I'm moving like 5 blocks, because moving one at a time sort of works, but as soon as you hold down for any length of time, it just suddenly starts...
Well, as you know, arcade joysticks were not analog. You should have played this with a D-pad, really.
Well, wait. That is going to be the realization I come to as well in a little bit, as we will see. I'm still fighting my way through the analog stick at this point.
So this would have been just a 4-way stick, arcade stick, so playing it on the keyboard would have been brilliant.
That was the other thing that I finally realized late in the game, so to speak.
So for this young guy that I am, playing it in an arcade with an analog stick, every time you move, you have to give it another push. You can't just hold it.
Well, if you're playing it at home, you mean, with an analog stick. In the arcade, there wouldn't have been an analog stick.
You just click. Like when you do a regular joystick, it just clicks, click forward.
Joystick. I mean, okay. Oh, okay.
So each step would have been just kind of you flick it.
Okay.
Now, do you know if this game had any kind of overlay to add color to it? Or
no, it was a pure black and white game. Gremlin was starting to get into some like mirror projection stuff, but this was a pure black and white style game, and running off of the original Blockade hardware, and yeah, it's an oddity sort of game, but it's actually kind of, once you get into the rhythm of it, it's actually kind of compelling in a certain way.
No, I can definitely see that. What kind of processor is this running off of?
An 8080.
An 8080?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So not a Z80, but an 8080.
Yeah, they upgraded to a Z80 with a custom graphics chip. I mean, they technically had already upgraded, but they kept using this hardware because they had so much of it around at the time. And I'll go, once we get back into the show, I'll tell you a little bit about this, because I chose this for a very particular reason that you'll get to know. Of course, you don't get to hear the lovely sounds done by Mr. Bob Picarero.
the lovely sound that is just da 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 da.
Welcome to the arcade of the 70s, man. Like,
I know. I was just. Just be thankful the sound recording didn't work when I did the screen capture.
So what happens if you actually clear all the mines in time? You get just another go?
Yep.
Okay. There's no adversary introduced at any time?
No,
Okay.
but you can...
And this is me now trying it out with the D-pad because I was just like, okay, this is not working.
You can
now,
also play with 2 players as well.
Okay.
In my defense, I keep getting higher scores each time I try this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game you learn. And that's the idea of these kinds of games back then. You know, pre-Space Invaders, these were games that you really were trying to squeeze the most out of within the time limit. And if you were especially good, you got extra time.
Mm. So does it become harder in the next level when you play?
I'm not 100% sure because I have not actually gone through to the next thing myself. I don't think there is a next level. It just repeats.
Okay, so you could actually theoretically be playing this forever if you're good enough to.
Well, like usually with these kinds of games, on the extra play, they'll give you less time to rack up the same amount of
Makes
points.
sense.
Okay.
So in
Like
looks like
if you play Depth Charge, that's how that works.
Okay.
Same designer.
It looks like Gremlin went on to make a Star Trek game. I'm getting like Bird of Prey vibes off this ship design.
Yeah, but not quite. But it is like it's a tank game, but it's kind of a sci-fi tank game. It's kind of weird.
I'm seeing him doing a lot better changing to the D-pad. I get that motion now. That wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And had I moved to the keyboard, it probably would have been even better. But just because the D-pad on the Xbox has always been a little bit weird for my fingers, but
I gotcha. So were these like standard arcade buttons that would be like arranged in like a D-pad style on the actual?
No, it was
cabinet?
a joystick and then just a button.
Oh, a joystick. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the game, Blasto from 1978.
it was definitely an experience. I mean, like you with the Amiga, the old black and white 70s arcade games are something that is not really my strong suit. So very cool.
I'm giving you education, Karl. You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. My education is not done yet. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.